Reprogramming a BIOS. Okay, so BIOS basically why we require a BIOS to be programmed. Okay, a BIOS is a firmware or a software inside an IC. That IC is known as CMOS IC. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Okay, inside the CMOS IC there are three programs. Okay, first one is your BIOS, basic input output system. The main function of basic input-output system is to generate a diagnostic test. That test is known as post. Okay, the purpose of post is to detect all the hardware inside your motherboard. Okay, and after detecting the hardware, load the operating system. Okay, second program which is inside the CMOS is your ME, management engine. The management engine basically manages all the hardware detection done by the BIOS. And the third software is the BMC, baseboard management controller. It basically monitors the temperature of the PCB, the motherboard, and also the temperature of the CPU. And when the CPU becomes hotter, it will increase the fan speed, or when it becomes very cold, it will decrease the fan speed, controlling the speed of the fan. Okay, now for example, why we require to reprogram a CMOS IC? The main function of reprogramming a CMOS IC is that there are problems like system hanging. Okay, system hanging, no display. Okay, fatal errors like blue screen. Sometimes the system is restarting. Okay, the system freezes when we are running the desktop. Okay, the system freezes on desktop. So in that condition we require the CMOS IC to be reprogrammed, and for that we use the NanoBIOS programmer. Okay, the NanoBIOS programmer can program different types of ICs. Okay, for example, these are all ROM ICs. These are also known as ROM ICs. Okay, these are, you get different types of ROM IC. For example, you get EEPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM, electrically erasable read-only programmable read-only memory. Then there's flash ROM also. Okay, so this type which we are using right now is flash ROM. How do we identify that this is a flash ROM? By the number. The number over here we see is that 8049LH002. Okay, 80 indicates the company name, Atmel. Okay, and the 49L indicates it's a flash ROM. Okay, now what we do is basically we have this NanoBIOS programmer over here. This NanoBIOS programmer, you can see, you can attach a 32-pin IC over here. Okay, you can attach an 8-pin IC, ROM IC. Okay, a 24-pin and a 24-pin and a 48-pin IC all together. Okay. So now what we do is we require a USB printer cable to attach the device. From here the device basically receives power. Okay, and through the parallel port it transfers the data or the information which requires to be program the IC. For example, now what happens is some newer motherboards, they don't have parallel ports. In that condition, what we do is buy a parallel to USB converter. Okay, and attach it over here and connect this device to a USB port. Okay, now what we do is we attach the ROM IC into the socket. Okay, this is a dip type of socket. We just attach it over here. First thing, when we are attaching, we should see the cut of the IC. Okay, so once we see the cut, we just put the IC on top of the socket and press it. Okay, the IC is gone inside. Now what we do, we attach this port to the parallel port and USB. Jaspal, can you attach this? Huh? Okay, pin missing. Yeah. See, once we attach it, the power cord to the USB port, what happens? The LED starts glowing. Once the LED starts glowing, that means the device is receiving power. this device works basically on 5 volts. Okay, given through the USB port. Now we connect this device to the parallel port. Yeah. Okay, once the device is connected to the parallel port, you will be getting a CD. Okay, we'll insert the CD. Inside the CD, there will be a program called NanoBIOS Programmer, which will be a RAR folder. Okay, so what you have to do is unzip the folder. So first thing what you do is basically create a new folder anywhere on the desktop or the drive space. For example, I name this thing as a BIOS software. Okay, software. Okay, and inside this, when I open this, I'll just click extract NanoBIOS Programmer. Extract files to which location? The folder which we created over here, BIOS software. You click OK. So this software will come in. Okay, once we get the software, actually what we do is double click on it. First thing, whenever you're running the software, the antivirus should be disabled. If the antivirus is enabled, what will happen? This software won't function properly. Okay, the BIOS will think this is a Trojan because it is trying to write a IC or a BIOS software. Okay, so what we do over here, this is an antivirus, we just click on it, we turn on, this is written turn on real-time protection, so the protection is already off right now. Okay, we just turn it off, then what we do, we double click on the BIOS software. Once we double click on the BIOS software, the NanoBIOS Programmer software opens up. Okay, now over here you see the file, action, help and the BIOS file information, device information, nothing is being shown over here. So what we do is we click on Get ID. The first button over here we click is Get ID. Once we click over here Get ID, it will get the information of the device. The device name will be shown over here, AT49L8002. Second thing, the manufacturer's name, the device ID, the interface which is being used, and the density, the capacity of the ROM IC, how much memory it has. Okay, once we get the ID, we match it with the IC as we seen earlier. What we do now is we read the information. Okay, we click on read button over here. We read the information. It will ask where to save this. Okay, so I'll just select desktop, or if I want I can select keep it in any other folder. I select desktop over here, then I give the name of the file. For example, this is a BIOS named as AT49L8002. Okay, so I give the same name so I can identify. For example, in future if I get a BIOS which is same type and it is non-readable, it is corrupt, so I can just get a blank copy and just copy this program into that BIOS. Okay, so what I do, I take this thing, I make the file, I just click on desktop where the location to save and I click on save button. Once I click on save button, the process of reading is carrying on. If anywhere the read function fails, a message comes as a fail, that means the IC is spoiled. Okay, so the read process is carrying on.
If the IC is spoiled, how I can get the new one?
If the IC is spoiled, you can get it in the market for very cheap. It's around something around 200-250 rupees.
Is it going to be free?
Yeah, it will be blank.
Blank.
Completely
what
blank.
About the number?
Huh?
The number.
You can program it into any number also. It doesn't matter. Okay, but the software should be the same of the motherboard. If the software is not matching, the BIOS, the main function is to detect all the hardware. The hardware won't be detected.
Okay, from where I can bring the software for another, for example,
See,
which is not.
You'll be getting the software with the CD, which will be purchased when you purchase this machine. When you purchase the NanoBIOS Programmer, you'll be getting a CD. In that CD, you'll have many types of BIOSes.
On any version.
All versions, all versions available.
For desktop and laptop.
For desktop, laptop, both. Okay. See, it's showing over here success.
Yeah.
That means the program has been saved. Okay. Now what we do is erase it. The next process is to erase. We just click on the erase button over here. It will ask, chip will be erased. Do you want to continue? I'll say yes. So the erasing process will happen. If over here also, if there's a failure message, that means the IC is spoiled, corrupt. Now once the IC is erased, now we click on the right button. Once I click on the right button, it will ask for the file to be written. Okay. So I'll click on, for example, I know it is being saved on the desktop. I'll click here all files. Once I click all files, I know this is the IC which with the program which I have saved over here. I just click on the program and click open. Okay. So it will again give me a warning over here. Chip will be overwrite. Do you want to continue? I'll click yes. So it will start writing the chip.
So that is mean if the IC we need to program it.
Yeah.
We need to save the old file.
Yeah, old file.
When we replace the new file, the same file or
same file. We'll be replacing the same file. Actually, what happens? The BIOS or the software never gets corrupted. It only gets outdated.
Okay.
अगर वो फाइल अगर खराब है तो दूसरा फाइल उसमें.
Yeah. And if the file is spoiled, then you make put another backup copy of the file from from the CD.
From the CD.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is then this don't need to be updated to the internet.
No. There is no need for updating internet. For internet updation is only required in conditions like when some of the devices are not detecting. For example, you have a new type of a data card.
Yeah.
Okay, of a newer version and a new operating system, and the motherboard is of a older version, and so what happens, the newer hardware doesn't get detected. In that condition, you have to go to the manufacturer's site and get updates for the BIOS. Okay, so see, it's written the thing, now it's verifying. Okay, if the writing process is okay. Okay, it's showing success over here. Again, the last process what we do over here is verify it again if the writing process is correct, and there's the button called verify over here. We'll just click on the verify button over here. Okay, the location where we saved the BIOS will open over here, all files. This is the software. So we verify what is being written with the program that we copied. We click on open and it will verify. Okay, again if it shows failure over here, that means the process of writing is not proper. You have to reprogram again. Okay, all done. Now the process is completed. We can close this software from here. Okay, and then we can remove the NanoBIOS programmer, remove the BIOS IC. We'll just remove it. We'll remove this. After this, what we'll do? We'll remove the IC. Don't have this thing. You have a tweezer over here?
No.
Of course. Just remove one tweezer. The white bag over there.
Yes.
Is there? Okay. So we'll take the tweezer. We'll insert the tweezer over here, see, at the opening, we'll insert the tweezer and just lift it lightly like this. Okay, and the IC will come out. Now this IC is ready to be put back into the motherboard.
Okay. What about touching of the hands?
If you don't touch it also with the hand, it doesn't matter, but For the safety purpose, you have to use an anti-static wristband. Okay, because as a human being, what happens? Our body generates charge, and that charge is very harmful for ICs, transistors, MOSFET. They can get easily damaged. So you should always wear an anti-static wristband, which basically grounds our whole body. Okay, so this is the work of a nanobios programmer.